Touchscreen. The touchscreen is basically the main way you interact with your phone. Unlike old phones that had physical buttons for everything, modern smartphones use capacitive touchscreens that detect the electrical charge from your finger. And just so you know, this is why touchscreens don't work well with regular gloves. But nowadays, most flagship phones support higher refresh rates like 90 Hz or 120 Hz, which makes scrolling and animations look way smoother compared to the standard 60 Hz. The thing is, higher refresh rates also drain your battery faster, so some phones automatically switch between 60 Hz and 120 Hz, depending on what you're doing to save power. Biometric authentication. Biometric authentication is how your phone recognizes you to unlock it or approve payments. The most common types are fingerprint sensors and face recognition. Fingerprint sensors come in 3 types. Optical, which takes a photo of your fingerprint and is cheaper but less secure. Ultrasonic, which uses sound waves to create a 3D map and is more accurate. And capacitive, which is the physical sensor usually found on the back or side of phones. Then there's face recognition. Apple's Face ID uses infrared sensors to create a 3D map of your face, making it super secure. But most Android phones use regular camera-based face unlock, which is faster, but way less secure, because it can sometimes be tricked with a photo. Camera system. The camera system on smartphones has gotten crazy advanced. Most phones now have multiple cameras instead of just one. The main camera is what you use for most photos, usually around 50 megapixels to 200 megapixels on flagships. Then there's the ultra-wide camera, which has a wider field of view for landscapes or group photos, and the telephoto camera lets you zoom in without losing quality. And just to make it clear, there's a big difference between optical zoom and digital zoom. Optical zoom uses actual lens movement to zoom in, so the image stays sharp, but digital zoom just crops and enlarges the image, which makes it look pixelated and blurry. Night mode. Night mode is a camera feature that lets you take bright, clear photos in low-light conditions without using flash. It works by taking multiple photos at different exposures and then combining them into one image. The thing is, you need to hold your phone steady during this process, otherwise the photo will look blurry. Most flagship phones from Apple, Samsung, and Google have excellent night mode that can make dark scenes look almost like daylight. But budget phones often have weaker night mode that still shows a lot of grain and noise. Portrait mode. Portrait mode is the feature that blurs the background behind a person to make them stand out, similar to what professional cameras do. This effect is called bokeh. The way it works is by using depth sensors, or AI, to detect the subject and separate them from the background, then artificially blur everything behind them. But the thing is, portrait mode isn't perfect, and sometimes it blurs parts of the subject by mistake, or leaves parts of the background sharp. It works best on people and pets, but can struggle with objects that have complex edges. Optical image stabilization, OIS. OIS, or optical image. Stabilization is a feature that reduces blur in photos and shaky footage in videos. It works by using tiny motors inside the camera that physically move the lens to compensate for hand movements. This is especially useful in low light when the camera needs a slower shutter speed, which normally would make photos blurry. OIS is also super important for video recording because it keeps footage smooth even when you're walking. But just so you know, not all phones have OIS. Budget phones usually skip it to cut costs. Wireless charging. Wireless charging lets you charge your phone by just placing it on a charging pad without plugging in any cables. It uses Qi charging, which transfers power through electromagnetic induction. Most flagship phones support wireless charging at 15 watts or higher, while iPhones support MagSafe at 15 watts with magnetic alignment. But the thing is, wireless charging is slower and less efficient than wired charging. A 30-watt wired charger will fill your battery way faster than a 15-watt wireless pad. Also, wireless charging generates more heat, which can degrade your battery faster over time. Fast charging. Fast charging is exactly what it sounds like, charging your phone way faster than standard charging. It works by increasing the wattage delivered to your battery. Standard USB charging is around 5 watts, but fast charging can go from 18 watts all the way up to 240 watts on some Chinese phones. For example, a 65-watt charger can fill a 5,000 mAh battery from 0 to 100% in around 30 to 40 minutes, while a standard 5-watt charger would take over 3 hours. But here's the catch. You need both a compatible charger and cable to get fast charging speeds. Refresh rate. Refresh rate is how many times per second your screen updates the image. Standard phones have a 60 Hz refresh rate, but newer phones offer 90 Hz, 120 Hz, or even 144 Hz. The higher the refresh rate, the smoother everything looks when you scroll through apps or play games. Once you use a 120 Hz phone, going back to 60 Hz feels noticeably choppier, but higher refresh rates drain battery faster. That's why many phones now have adaptive refresh rates that automatically adjust between 1 Hz and 120 Hz, depending on what you're doing to save battery. Always on display. Always on display, or AOD, is a feature that shows information like time, date, and notifications on your screen, even when it's locked. This works on OLED screens because OLED pixels can light up individually, so the phone only needs to power the pixels showing the clock while the rest stays black. This makes AOD battery efficient, usually using only 1 to 2% battery per hour. But just so you know, LCD phones can't do true always-on display because LCD screens need to light up the entire backlight, which would drain the battery way too fast. Water resistance. Water resistance on phones is measured by an IP rating. IP68 means the phone is completely dustproof and can survive being submerged in water up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. But here's the thing, water resistance isn't the same as waterproof. The seals can degrade over time, especially if you drop your phone. Also, IP ratings only apply to fresh water, not salt water or chlorine. So if you drop your phone in the ocean or pool, you should rinse it with fresh water afterward. And by the way, water damage usually isn't covered by warranty, even if your phone has an IP rating. 5G connectivity. 5G is the latest generation of mobile network technology, and it's way faster than 4G LTE. In theory, 5G can reach speeds up to 10 gigabits per second, but in real-world use, you'll usually get speeds between 100 megabits per second to 1 gigabit per second. There are two types of 5G. Sub-6 GHz, which is slower but has better coverage, and millimeter wave, which is super fast but has very limited range and can't go through walls. The thing is, 5G also drains battery faster than 4G, which is why many phones let you switch between 4G and 5G to save power. Stereo speakers. Stereo speakers mean your phone has two speakers that create a wider, more immersive sound compared to a single bottom-firing speaker. Usually, one speaker is at the bottom, and the other is built into the earpiece. This creates a left-right audio effect. Stereo speakers are great for watching videos or playing games without headphones. Some flagship phones even have Dolby Atmos support. But the thing is, most budget phones only have a single speaker at the bottom, which sounds tinny and quiet. So if you watch a lot of content without headphones, stereo speakers make a huge difference. Haptic feedback. Haptic feedback is the vibration you feel when typing on the keyboard or pressing buttons. Good haptic feedback feels tight, precise, and satisfying, kind of like pressing a real button. Apple's Haptic engine and Android phones with linear motors provide the best haptics, but cheaper phones use older vibration motors that feel buzzy and cheap. The difference is pretty noticeable. Premium haptics feel like a gentle tap, while cheap haptics feel like a loud rattle. But honestly, a lot of people turn haptics off completely to save battery. Expandable storage. Expandable storage means your phone has a micro SD card slot, so you can add more storage space. This is super useful if you take a lot of photos and videos. Micro SD cards can add anywhere from 64 gigabytes to 1 terabyte of extra space. However, most flagship phones have removed the micro SD card slot and only offer internal storage options. This is because internal storage is faster and more reliable. So yeah, if you want expandable storage, you'll mostly find it on mid-range or budget Android phones. iPhones have never supported expandable storage at all. Dual SIM. Dual SIM lets you use two phone numbers on the same device. This is useful if you want to separate work and personal calls, or if you travel internationally. There are two types: physical dual SIM, which has two SIM card slots, and eSIM, which is a digital SIM built into the phone. Some phones support both at the same time, but the thing is, Not all dual SIM phones let you use both SIMs for data simultaneously. Usually one SIM is active for data, while the other is only for calls and texts. Anyway, I also made some other cool videos too, so don't forget to watch them later, okay?